Hey Andrew, this is Keaton Everett from ABC going over your pitching video from the spring break camp. We're going to kind of take a look at, break it down step by step and just kind of talk about mechanics and how we can, get ourselves in the most powerful position we can, how we can get ourselves consistent, and, most importantly, to keep ourselves healthy. So anyways, overall, man, really, really solid. Everything's kind of the foundation, the basis is all there, and it's all real solid, and there's just a couple few little tweaks here and there that you can do to get yourself to use your body more, to use a little bit more of that lower half. But I mean, other than that, it's all pretty solid, so that's a good job. But we'll go back and kind of break it down step by step, kind of the important parts of the mechanics, and just kind of talk about each. So with pitching, how you start, how you're set up, dictates a lot of how you're going to finish, how you're going to deliver the ball, how consistent you're going to be. So initially the setup is really important. All right. The biggest thing that we don't like to see is the head to go back and the posture to change. All right. So I'll just draw this box in this head, and as you can watch, you're doing a pretty good job at staying over your back leg, keeping your head, staying nice and tall. One thing that's tough to see from this video is it looks like this back leg could be locked. The knee could be locked in place. So, to get everything kind of loaded up, you kind of want to load that knee up. There's a little bit of a bend, not a whole lot, just a little bit of bend, so you can get that knee sort of loaded up, get it in the right position, to get balanced, to get your body going down the hill. And so, at this position, right up here, where everything's balanced, all right, this is good. You're not drifting forward, you're staying up, staying over that back leg, but we want this knee loaded up so that direction's already getting ready to go. So it's not just kind of locked out. You get up, get balanced, and then you bend it, and then you get going. You want that to already be preset. In this position, just work on getting to this position, just holding that position, and you should feel really powerful in this lower body and in these hips areas. So you just feel like you're just right there, ready to rear back and get going down the mound. So that's kind of one thing to kind of play around with. But I mean, other than that, this is good. A lot of times you'll see guys' heads start drifting forward, but you're coming to a nice, good, balanced position, which is good. All right. And so as you're coming back down, one of the things that I always look for, and I tell the kids, is to lead with your hips. The lower body is what generates the power. It's what the main driving force behind pitching. So you want to see those hips start going before that leg goes down. So you're doing a good job at leading with your hips. You're keeping this foot closed off, and your hands are breaking at a pretty good spot. Once that leg starts going down, we want to break our hands over the rubber. And again, the angle is tough, but I mean, I think you're breaking your hands here, so that's good. So you're getting your hands back. Breaking your hands early is going to allow yourself to get up on top of the ball, get a good arm path. All right, so that's all really good. And another thing too is when you load up your back knee, what you're going to see happen is you can see here, the angles of your knee, your forces are kind of pointing back towards almost the third baseman shortstop area, but we want all this direction to sort of be going forward down towards the mound. So when you load up that back knee, it's going to start turning towards the ground. So as you can see, it's kind of facing out here towards the third baseline, and then now it starts to rotate down. We want to see this, try to get that rotation down a little bit earlier. So instead of going from here, and then down, it's already kind of set up there, ready to go. All right. Another thing too with the hips and driving them down the mound is once those hands break, once that leg gets going down, drive those hips as hard as you can, as quick as you can down the mound. You know, I know it's kind of a bullpen session. It's not live, you know, full speed, but we want to get ourselves out there. All right, so at foot strike, it looks like you're a little bit short. You know, you could probably get another foot length or two of distance, and we'll show you later of what that's going to do. And it just causes you to rotate early. It causes you to release the ball with 1 foot on the ground. And so we'll talk about that later, but don't think about what this left leg's doing. You know, if I'm telling you to get farther down the mound, don't think about reaching out with this left leg. Don't think about swinging this foot out here. All right, you want to think about keeping your hips closed longer and driving them farther down the mound closed. All right, don't think about reaching out that left foot. That won't help you. All right, so at this position, real solid. All right, this is your foot strike position. All right, everything's pretty good. We like to see these kind of angles. You know, we don't like to see the elbow above the shoulder, and we don't like to see the elbow, you know, below the shoulder. So that's a nice, good, solid position. You know, it's a healthy position. So that's, you know, one of the biggest things you can do. One thing I did notice on your second pitch here, we go to it, I don't know what pitch you were throwing, but it looks like your finger's coming off the ball here. All right, and you know, I don't know if you're throwing a curveball or what, but if it's a fastball, you want to make sure that those fingers are staying on contact. So just maybe take a look at your grip and make sure you're keeping those fingers in contact throughout your whole arm path. All right, that's just something to kind of look at. All right, so part of the reason of not getting your body out, not getting your lower legs out enough, is you're going to watch what your upper body's doing through release. All right. So what you can see now is your spine starting to kind of shift towards your front knee, and you can see this back leg or this back foot pop off the ground. All right. If you're thinking about punching someone, you know, are you going to punch someone with 1 foot on the ground or 2 feet? You know, you're going to use 2 feet because you can transfer more of that energy. You know, it's just a more powerful position. It's a more athletic position to have 2 feet on the ground. And all that really is that's just you're not using, you know, you're not driving through this back leg enough. You know, you're cutting yourself off with this front foot, and you're just not driving enough through that back leg. You want to feel all that power. You know, in this position, you want to feel that back foot on the ground going all the way through those little toes. You know, through that last, get every little last possible inch, and then you're driving yourself forward. And arm health wise, you know, your elbow's in a pretty good position here. A lot of time, you know, we don't want to see any daylight here, but it is a little bit out in front, and so the more you can get this, you know, the more you can spread out that lower base. You know, if you're out here now, something like this maybe, now that body's going to be farther back, or I mean your body's going to be farther forward, and so that's going to keep your elbow in a little bit better position. So now, you know, it's not as far, you know, kind of leading your body. So and then that's also going to pick up, you know, another, it's a tough frame, but you know, you're releasing the ball, probably released it, you know, right here, and so now you'd see your hand on the ball, you know, maybe another 6 or 8 inches. So that's a good thing. You know, we want to get as close as we can releasing the ball. So anyways, but I mean, other than that, and then you finish, you got a good follow through. I mean, everything's solid. It's just a matter of using more of your legs and staying through your legs a little bit more and keeping that upper body back. So you know, you know, you want to keep that straight spine angle as you land. You know, it's still straight, and then as that right shoulder comes through, those hips come through, then you know, you're starting to bend and release the ball. But anyways, man, good job. Good luck this season. Hope you have a great year. Thanks for making out to camp, and we look forward to seeing you again with ABC.